Hello, today we're going to show you the most advanced document management feature available in any software product. Now that's a bold statement, so let's start right away. First, we're going to receive some data for a given data view called prospects. We're going to highlight a record, and it's going to automatically match it up with any linked data views, such as in here we have prospect trade lines that are linked, and the prospect files that were uploaded associated with this prospect named Arturo. Information on Arturo is here. One could edit if they want, make changes to appropriate fields that can be changed. And then you can also, now we're going to show you the document feature. So we're going to receive any documents that we've already uploaded with templates already, just to show you. As an example, we have a 32-page contract, and one of the things we can do is click Fill Contract to fill it with data just by hitting Autofill, and it immediately takes in the data from the highlighted record, including any report data, which means an entire set of data that can be stored in a single template. I'll show you how that looks when we can find it. We often overlook that. Here it just brought in one record because of some changes we recently made, but it usually brings in all 18. So we'll show you that in the next video. In this case, there's 18 records associated with the prospect trade lines that this template is programmed to retrieve. So if we edit the templates, you'll see how advanced this is and simple. You can close a template, you can move it around, you can change its size, you can double click it so that you can make changes to it, and simply drag and drop. And if you're merging, notice how the status changes to merging. If it's a new one, it'll just appear as a new one. Let's close that out. Okay. Now, similarly, let's say it's only got 2 lines. You can type data in, only 2 lines. Max characters per line is also set. Double click, and you'll see we're looking at something with only 2 lines. Type R2 for 2 lines. Max characters 30. We changed that to 40, but double clicked again, you'll see it'll change to 30. So you can select whatever data view and corresponding field you want the template to be associated with. For now, up to 4 different fields can be combined into a single template input. Now here's the cool part, the actual signing. I'm going to go back to this. We're not going to save this, but if we did and we wanted to add another one, remember, merge or new. Now we're adding a new R2 here, so we could do that. Line it up, and then if we want to save this, we can. You can also manipulate by hitting the down arrow or up arrow. Notice we also have a set here. You can change you can move an entire set of templates around if you used the text set type. And if you want to control just one, just click any one of them, and you can move it around like with the arrows. You can also resize all of them collectively. Very cool. Now we're going to get out of this, and we could save this, the new template we just added, by clicking OK. And so now, and then we can reload, and we can open it again in the edit state and see that that indeed we did add this second template for co-client. Now, if we want to fill the data again, we go back into get mode, and we can fill, just telling us we had some changed data, a last modified date, and if we wanted to not save that, and indeed we are not saving that. Okay, so now we are back into fill mode like we showed you before. We're going to fill this, and then we're going to send it to the client so that he can sign. So first, we save the PDF as it is. We click open email, and we send and we attach the PDF and send it to the client. This is better than DocuSign because there's no separate server that needs to hold the document, so it's highly private. And if you do save the document in our servers, it's saved as an encrypted document. So when they get this, we attach it, and then we send it, and then when they actually get it, they're instructed to click this link, which will overlay the templates and allow them to continue filling out the document, from which we can extract the data with just a single click if they make any changes. So here it is, and here we're going to send it. Since there is no Arturo, we'll send it to me, and that's it. So, and now the document is being sent. Okay, so when they get it, they'll click the link they'll download the document from their email, click the link, and they'll see this exactly. They'll fill out the rest of the fields as necessary. Maybe they got their name spelled wrong. We'll add an S there on their name. Same here. In all cases, we'll add an S. And then then they will sign it. Now this is the cool part. Once they make a signature, well, in this case his name is Arturo. Wow, never signed as Arturo. Let's say that's his signature. Notice as soon as we were done, it dated it and provided a hash of the entire canvas with the signature and the date. So now they are going to just click finished, and that's going to save the form PDF. They're not going to have all these buttons. They don't have all these buttons. They just have a finished button. And it alerts them if they don't sign all the required fields, but it still lets them save their work. Okay, so now, assuming they've sent it back to us, this is what we'll see. Now, we opened it in the window, which we weren't supposed to do. There are some quirks with Photoshop, with Adobe showing embedded fields unless you open your folder and then click. And now you'll see the fields embedded. Now, this is all the changes they made. Was this the last one? Because I did change the A to an S. Oh, here it is. I guess I didn't change it on all of them. See, remember I added an S here? So that's actually working. We didn't change the S here. We forgot to do that. And we can't now, even though you see that cursor, this document is in fact locked. Now, here is the signature, here's the dated signature, here's the hash code of the entire canvas. Very important. Not only do we have the email as proof that they signed the document, we can also embed their photo, a real live photo, when they're doing the signing. That is a template feature. And then notice how we had, we also have the provenance page at the bottom, which shows additional hashes and chaining hashes, meaning if you wanted to take this document and now send it to someone else where they can sign, like a co-signer, then it would add to this hash provenance. This page is a separate page hashing the rest of the document, not this page. And that report feature we showed you earlier, which should contain all 18 records, it's just a feature of a template to show all the records of a data view rather than just the current value. That we have somewhere down in here, but in this case it just showed the one. Generally it will show all of them. So it showed the first one that was in that record set of 18. I don't know if you recall. We'll show it to you again. And that's it. And now you have it, and now you can actually upload the document. So let's close this out. Now what's really cool first is we might want to extract change data. So what we can do is we can upload this new document. So let's go into new. We're going to call it, the name of this is going to be new enrollment, and it's going to be enrollment 3. So we'll choose the file, which is the one we just received, supposedly from Arturo, and it's encrypting the file. Very important. And now we will upload the encrypted file, and there's all the information associated with the encryption. And that's it. Now it's done. Now we would normally just reload, and that's it. But since we have some fields here, we're going to clear the fields out, and we're going to clear those focused fields and get all the data for this for these files. All the data for Arturo alone would be just highlighting Arturo here, and now it'll get what it needs. See, it did that automatically. The last document being 48, we just highlight it, click extract data. Now watch this. You see person Arturo Chanam, right? We extract the data and we hit auto extract. See how there's an S here? It should recognize it unless it's going to take it from the one that wasn't changed, which it might. But let's see if we can do auto extract. And look at that. It took it from the first place it found corresponding field name, and it changed the A to S. Very, very cool. Very cool. So that's it. Now you can make this change by simply clicking the upload, and now it's going to change that to an S. We click OK. Reload the data for Arturo, and now we can click onboard one if this is the way you've designed your workflow, for example. And now here it is. We're ready to upload him as a new client, or whatever else you want to do. Onboard trade lines automatically brings in those trade lines. Now, if he had made any changes in the document, they would be reflected here. So it's really, one-touch workflow, right? There's no need to actually type in any information anymore. So this is like the best onboarding experience I've ever seen, objectively as possible, having built it. Okay, here we go. So one thing we didn't show you, which is beautiful, is our look at our layout. Our layout, you can change these layouts however you want. You can show whatever kind of data you want. You can have thousands of records, and we can look at it again, and the distribution changes based on everything that's showing here. If we had thousands of records, this could be more interesting. But again, you can change the layout, number of charts available to you if you wanted to see that. We are digressing here a bit, but the layout manager is somewhere in here. And just to show you as an example, the one that was showing, this test one, which was showing, if we open the layout designer, you can make it bigger, smaller. You can add, that layout was in there, but we weren't seeing it because we weren't big enough to see it. But look, you can move them around. You can change their size. You can add different fields to them. This one contains essential debt, non-credit debt. But let's say we wanted to add a different one. We could, close this out, and we could add one with, where's the essential debt, non-essential debt? That's somewhere. Monthly debt, credit debt, monthly income, let's say. So we want to have 4 of them. Essential debt. So now we got 4 fields associated with, say, a mag bar, and we put that in, and now, let's see, are they all there? They're all there. Where are the beautiful colors? Monthly income. Let's see, this is the maximum possible. So, if certain numbers don't have, because we didn't add it as a formula that's compared to max and set, or to sum over the set. So let's do that, and then add it again. Okay, much nicer. Now it's based on the maximum of these 75 records. Move it around how you want. You can change font size just by changing the size of what you're displaying. This is a first name and last name value row, or values in line template for this widget. Now we want to see all 3, so we just click save, and then you can save this by replacing the match, and then saving the matches. So when we go back, now look at that. You see all 3. Very, very cool. Okay. And the distribution is also very interesting. It does automatic clustering. Let's close that. Let's make sure we're still recording here. Looks like it. There's a red button. That's a good sign. Okay. So what's next? We were showing you all the beauties of the document template manager. And I think we finished. I think we've gone through everything we want to in this video. Let's see. For this one, what does that look like? Oh, look, Angela. So, okay, so there's so much more to show you, but I think that's good for now. Show you the very best onboarding experience possible. We showed you the extraction. We didn't show you IQ fill, which is very cool. You can actually fill missing data using Chat-GPT to help you if you wanted to. Let's say there's some email addresses missing. Obviously, this isn't going to have personal email addresses of people, but if we went like to the bank object, like in clients, let's say, or new clients, there's a bank object somewhere over here. Maybe that's in clients. For example, we got these bank objects, so if you want to do an IQ fill on missing data there, we can get all the banks that we have, and we might be missing some data for them, and then we can just click the IQ fill, and anything that's missing, like let's say some emails are missing, we only want to do emails. We could do all of them, any data that's missing, but let's say actually, yeah, maybe it's more impressive to show you any data that's missing. We just run it, and it's going to start populating missing data. You know, we can hide it, we can open it again, and it can run in the background. It's still running. We have a very slow internet connection here, but as the responses come in, it typically shows you here, and then there's response number 1. Cool. All right. So if we stop the process, well, we could hide it for now. These will, or anything new will change to any new data that's been added is here. See that? All the red data is new. Wow, it shows new addresses that have just come in through ChatGPT. It's amazing, extraordinary. Now we could wait till it's done, which is the smart thing to do, or we can upload the new data right away just by clicking that. Edit or add. We want to, in this case, edit. We don't want to add any new data, any new records, just new data, and it'll automatically show you the new data. Right now there's 20 records that are new. Pretty cool. In other words, this adds sparse data as it comes in. Now if we do this again, there'll probably be 40 records because more data has probably come back. So let's try, where's the edit? Here it is. Let's see. Look at that, 30 records. See, before it was 20. So more and more information is coming in. We don't want to make the changes while this is still happening, so let's stop the process for now. We're going to stop the process. Now it's stopped. It's actually stopped during request number 4, not request number 1. Nevertheless, we can hide it again, restart the process, or continue from where we were. Process is no longer running. Stop. Request 2 not attempted. It's actually request 5 that's not attempted. It does say response number 1 here, but we clearly got more back because we saw it filling in. So this is just a simple fix in what it's showing us. But if we upload this, let's see, edit warning. There are 50 records now. And since we do 10 at a shot, it actually did 5 successful request responses through ChatGPT. Okay, so we click OK. It's going to save all 50 records. Now we click reload, and that's it. Now we just fetched the 50 that we made changes for. Let's see, is this true? We fetched 50 rows. With bank ID equals 50 values. Let's see. Might not be the same 50. Let me just get rid of that there. let's see, street address. Oh, that's why it was there, just wasn't showing us for some reason. Let's see, red. Oh, it was there because we were sorting from here, and these are addresses that haven't yet been filled in. Remember, we can only see 500 records at a time. It's there, but we were sorting from nothing first, so there's still a lot more data to be filled in. But if we sort from descending instead of ascending, or vice versa, we'll see all of the new information that just came in. So very cool. Remember, these are the records we're looking at: 0 to 500, next 500 to 1,000, and this is still the data that has not yet been filled in. We wanted to look at the overlay, the layout designer. There's no layout for this object yet. We haven't made one, but we can easily, and look at the data for this as well in whatever format we want to. So let's see. You can also highlight and show other labels that might be missing. Let's say we were already showing phone and email, but if we wanted to show, let's say, the bank, is there anything we're not showing here? Let's see. Okay, country. Then, country gets added here. Now, let's delete that. Not show country, okay? But there's a default, and you can set the defaults in the reporter object here, just by opening up the reporter object, which also contains formulas, and you can just change columns, adjust the height, a whole bunch of stuff, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff for formulas about prefetching data automatically, and then operating on that data with various formulas and producing automatic outputs. And that appears as buttons, which can be automated through the auto power group settings, where your buttons can be run throughout the day, or once a day, or once a week, and then you have what we call local serverless processing. Very important in this new age where Amazon and other cloud services charge a fortune for processing in the cloud. So, okay, and these are examples of some buttons like Auto Report 1. You could see, I double-clicked it so you could see what's inside it. We get all clients with the last names between C and CZ, so just clients with C, for example, because this is a huge database. We only want to operate perhaps on these, for whatever reason, just with C. We want to see the clients where the balance is greater than 400, account balance, for example, greater than or equal to 400, effective date greater than or equal to, etc., etc. So we can save this, because I changed the field name account balance to something else, so it wasn't in there. But we can click, and then you can do a report and email the report with whatever field you have specified, whatever fields you want. We want to, since we're looking, if we click OK, it's going to run it. We don't want to run it. Well, fine, we'll run it. It's going to try to run it. Let's hit stop so it doesn't run it, but it's already running it. It brought in 1,100 clients whose names begin with C. See that? Between C and CC, very interesting. So actually it's good that I'm showing you this. You could see how the formulas work, and now it's doing other processing. We want to stop this because we don't know what it's doing. That button was designed for another company, and we imported it into this company and haven't set it up yet. But look, it's actually working. We brought in all clients whose last name begin with C and whose account balance is greater than $400. Check that out. We can sort by account balance, and you can see account balance is greater than 400. Pretty damn cool. Now, let's say we wanted to operate. Since we happen to have this data here, let's look at I don't think I set up charts. Oh, I did. Look, a distribution of account balance. So let's say this guy there's 50 with the account balance between 400 and 435. Isn't that interesting? And that's where he stands. Now, there's also, this is distributed equally. There's like 50 in each range, but where he is in this range. Now, this chart is a very powerful chart, the distribution chart, and it could be set up however you want. It can even be set up to show not only Gaussian distributions, but specifically the appropriate most volatile distributions in the range, so you don't miss anything. If there were many different counts in a smaller range, it will show that in this chart. This is very interesting though. I'm glad we got to present this. Let's look at something else in a higher range like this guy. There he is in a higher range. And it normally also shows the median value and the average value, the max value, and the min value. For whatever reason, it's not showing in this chart. One can easily set it up to do that, again through the layout designer, which we showed you earlier. Let's see. So, and of course, pie charts, mag charts, whatever you want, can all be added to the enterprise desktop that you show your users. So we can go to the end, which shows there's some clients with 47,000. Wow, so who would be at the end in the chart if it even makes it to that? In this case, the chart range ended it at 1,000 rather than taking us to the full limit, relative to cluster over 1,100 others. So again, minor adjustments to the chart parameters will allow it to show what you want to show without concentrating in a certain range, for example. Now, if we did adjust this, let's say we just want to see account balance greater than, say, 20,000, and now it's just going to show there's only 2 clients, right? So now we do the clustering here again. It's only showing up to 1,060 for some reason, because of the parameters that we specified for this chart, where the range is fixed rather than up through the max value in the set. So simple changes. Let's see, you can also look at account balance between. There's a whole bunch of different operators, and you could have multiple fields together. So let's say we want to see account balance between. Where's the between? I have a between operator somewhere in here. Between, let's say 580 and 1,000, or better yet 750. Let's say smaller range. Now we see only that, but let's say we only want to see those account balances for somebody with a last name. We got to find last name. Where's last name? Account last name. Let's see. Like, perhaps. Where's the like operator? Like CA. Then only those with CA in the name will appear. It could also be starts with, but if there was a CA somewhere else in here, it might also work, because like is not starts with. There is a starts with here that may or may not work accordingly. Okay, starts with is not exactly as intended, so we'll go back to like, and there it is. Okay, thank you for watching. We hope what we've showed you is the most advanced enterprise desktop / CRM / project management / document management / file storage / data storage solution imaginable on the market. All of this data is stored wherever you want, by the way. You set up your own API keys. These are the providers that are available. You can add your own providers and API keys. This is our own Google Cloud for your own company. In this case, the default provider for this object is our own Google Cloud. There's even a default payments pad if you happen to be working with payments. This is not necessary for most industries, but it is for some. So let's see. If you wanted to link objects together, like we showed you earlier, the prospects is linked to prospect trade lines. It's as simple as just setting up a link. And here you can see prospect trade lines is a child of the prospects object on the field client ID. So when we get the prospects, if the client ID, well, in this case prospect ID is linked to client ID, and let's show you that again. You see the source is prospect ID, the target's client ID. So that's the way we want them linked, because we use the prospect ID as client ID in prospect trade lines, because these are trade lines that only are associated with prospects. So there's a lot of flexibility here. This guy doesn't have any trade lines. Arturo does. So when we click on Arturo, it brings in those trade lines and focuses on the appropriate thing to focus on. We also have call logs so that you can actually click a number. Typically, it would call it and show you a little call icon here. Recording stopped because we're not set up with Twilio yet on this company. However, the call logs you can see the call logs here, and somewhere in here is call logs, or let's say somewhere is a call schedule, not a schedule, but a caller account setup with whoever you want, like Twilio. And by the way, you can also edit fields. You can clear out the data or look at existing data. And the recording we do on our own, so you do not have to pay for separate recording through Twilio. You would only use them for the link to make the call. Very inexpensive. I know very few CRMs that support that. So let's see. What's interesting here is if you wanted to right-click to edit and you want to select, you can select from anything that's already in there, or you can clear it out and put in your own data. And if you don't want what was there, you clear again, it brings back what was there, so you're not changing anything. Now if you were to make a change, I change that to something else, and then you click the upload, the edit button, it'll know what you've changed. In this case, just that one record. If we've changed multiple records, let's put in 21,000. Now there's 2 ready to be changed, and you'll see both of those records here ready to be uploaded. Just the changed data, right, without affecting any other features in the record, any other data in the record, any other fields, cells, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so once again, thank you for watching. We hope we've shown you an incredibly flexible system that has a ton of features. While we're here, one thing we forgot to show you is the most important thing, which is just setting up a data model. And you see, let's say we have fax here. If you don't want fax here, just remove it and it'll disappear. You want to change the name? Change it. And then just click Save Match. Add Save This Match. It'll save it, and then when we go back, you'll see that the name has changed. We could save it locally, so just to show you how it looks without updating the actual data. And if we do that, and we click OK, now let's see, in the person, look, see, age range changed and fax is missing. It's that powerful. We get the data again, it'll give you an error because, well, no, it won't, because we didn't change the tags. So we can get the data again. The tags haven't changed. We click on a person, we won't see any fax number here. So we've actually changed the data model on the fly. Pretty impressive. Now if we wanted to reflect that change in the database itself, you can, just by clicking Upload SQL Table. Then it would actually change the field name differences. What do those field names actually look like? I mean, what are their values? Here you set the values. I mean, what are the types of each field? It can be a string, a varchar, an integer, for example, with different sizes. It's that simple. There's pick list items. You can fetch a SOAP schema, and then select methods from that SOAP schema. In this case, it's programmed for a particular bank, so that you can actually, on the fly, change the entire data model to reflect a SOAP schema. Incredibly powerful. So if we just saved it locally, again, we don't want to mess with our data here, but if we just saved it locally, suddenly this would, something didn't work because it was such a drastic change, but suddenly this prospects object would be changed to reflect that change. More importantly, you want to add a new object, you can start from fresh here. A new custom object, it can be a file object, it can be a contracts object, or just anything. A custom really lets you do anything. Give it a name, like name, and then product number, product name, etc. Then all of these fields, which are defaulted for you, specify different display characteristics, upload characteristics. Maybe you want your users not to be able to edit it, or only to be able to edit it in certain circumstances, etc. We're going to close that out. Now you can also add, just by double-clicking a tab, you can control what's in that tab. Want to add a new tab? Do it here. Add a new tab. Give it a name. Want to move a tab's positioning around? Just drag and drop it somewhere else. And yeah, normally that would work because we didn't get it in between the right spot. So there it is. Now it's been added. We just click Save, and it'll save it there. That's it. Once again, thanks for watching.